Please subscribe to my channel, where it's a channel of different opinions and different things. So welcome to Raven Over and Raven! Come on, girl. Yes.
Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people?
What's going on, people? 2 videos in one day. Now this is a video reference to Laverne Cox. I think she went to some type of conference or something, and I got a little end of it and stuff. But as far as Ellie website and stuff, they put it up in reference to basically what went down and what happened. Now I want to share this with you. Check this out. Okay, this is going out of April 28th, 2017, and from Ellie. Laverne Cox says, trans people shouldn't have to blend in. She said, if you can tell I'm trans, that's not only okay, that's beautiful. Now, thanks to the work of the advocate like Laverne Cox, public perceptions of what it means to be trans has been slowly evolving in recent years. The Orange and the New Black actress has frequently spoken out about her experience as far as the Day events in Los Angeles on Thursday. She talked about transitioning at the time when she ideally meant blending in. Now, back when I was transitioning, Laverne said, way back in the day, the goals were transition to blend in, to never let anyone know that you were transgender, and I never blended in. Could you imagine? Unfortunately, trans people so often need to hide. She says it is something that needs to be changed. I have finally accepted myself. Laverne explained that it was a difficult time and taking medical steps to live in a more authentically life, and yet I was laughed at. Now, misgendered and harassed everywhere I went. I never felt safe leaving my own home, but she felt back with her truth and integrity. I knew that living in my truth was the way of a better than living a lie. Yes, safely and acceptance often elude trans people, particularly transgender women of color. Suicide rates are high in the trans community, as reported of the hate violence. Now, the past 3 years have been a deadliest, a record of trans people, Laverne said, especially trans women of color like me, especially after I survive, because a lot of girls like me don't survive. Now, Laverne said it is important to acknowledge the challenges of trans people faces and not expect them to hide who they are. I believe it is important publicly claim all of the components of who I am with the pride, because I am not always been able to do so. Laverne said, growing up in Mobile, Alabama, I think I can safely say that there's nobody else like me. Now, sure, I have a twin brother, but in many ways, our similarities are superficial, because the way that I saw myself is the way that the world saw me were two different. I always knew I was a girl, but I was bullied and shamed for how feminine I was, and my gender was constantly policed by other kids at school, by my teacher, my folks' church, and by my mother, and kept me from really claiming my girlhood. Now, thanks to a lot of hard work and time, Laverne says that she no longer feels the need to fit in anymore, else especially expectation of how she should look. It took me many years, she said, to accept fully internalize that someone can look at me and tell I'm trans. That's not only okay, but it's beautiful, because trans is beautiful. And I'm a beautiful despite my big hands, my big feet, my wide shoulders, my height, my deep voice, and all the things that make me beautifully and noticeably trans. I am beautiful because of the things of those things. Now, her message isn't only for trans people and trans people, Cox Laverne said. We live in a world that constantly tell women we are not enough, we aren't skinny enough, young enough, pretty enough, smart enough, white or black enough, the texture of our hair isn't straight or curly enough, and these messages tell women, and particularly women of color, that we are not enough. I've got to tell you, I struggle with this stuff every single day.
But for today, I have to tell myself that this is it. This is who I am and what I look like. Today, I have to look in the mirror and say not only that this is enough, but this is beautiful.
Okay, you see that? She's a Gemini like me, so I think that she's targeted to the point in her life where she's probably over it, like I'm over it. So the thing is that she's saying we shouldn't have to blend in. We should let people know that we're trans are beautiful, and you know, whatever you identify as, two spirits, trans people, trans woman or woman, whatever the case may be. She just basically, you know, that you should just don't care. You know, we should stand out as far as our hands, our voices, and everything. You know, we're standing our truth, and we're no longer hiding this stuff. You know, the thing about it is that, like I said before, once we did the trans visibility thing, we're all out in the forefront and stuff like that. And I always feel as though my personal opinion is always going to be a two-headed sword. You know, it's a good thing as far as you can get the people who really don't care as far as helping you live in your truth. But then there's the people trying to find out who they are so they can make sure everything that you want in life, they try to stop it for you living in your truth. But then they'll be the same ones on the next breath that's doing other things that I report later on. The ones who hated people, the trans people the most, were the ones who were doing the most, you know. So I agree with her as far as that. I think a lot of things as far as a lot of girls, they're starting to come in their realistic form as far as, you know, just becoming over it. You know, and it's funny because they piggyback off of what I just talked about as far as being pointless. You know, a lot of this stuff we do and stuff, it just sometimes just seems so pointless. You know, the whole reason why we come in the forefront and say, you know, this is who I am, just accept me and I accept you. But a lot of times people just go, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, so at the end of the day, I just think what she's saying is, you know, it's beautiful being who you are and just embrace it. You know, basically the hell with it. You know, because I already feel that way myself as well, you know, and I'm over it. You know, I know I'm never going to blend in. I know I'm never going to be passable. And I've accepted that. And think about it, I even went deeper than that, you know, as far as being pointless. Because at the end of the day, everything I do, it still goes back to him. You know, a lot of times girls don't want to deal with that, but I like to map everything out. And I talked about this before. When I went to emergency, I went to the doctor. It's like they have to do the male anatomy. I'm sorry, it is what it is. But, you know, I always go back and I watch girls get the whole sex change and stuff. Hopefully it'll work for them and stuff. But me, myself, I always feel as though if you're the kind of girl like me who is not as passable, it just always goes back to him. I mean, it's like, why am I even bothered? It's pointless. Then you meet a guy he automatically knows. It's pointless. So you just might as well be true to you and, you know, be happy with who you are, you know, and that's it, you know. And I just want to share her story as far as that, as far as she was saying, you know, as far as trans women being murdered and stuff, because let's face it, a lot of the trans women that were murdered were very beautiful. They were very passable. And no one, everyone knows, no one should be murdered and stuff. But the simple fact of the matter is that these girls were just murdered. And the thing about it is that a lot of them that were actually killed were by guys who basically looked like they were interested in them and stuff. But anyway, that being said, I just wanted to share this story with you and stuff as far as, you know, what she talked about and stuff. And I gave her the thumbs up. If you see this Laverne thumbs up, you know I thumbs up your Instagram as well, because I saw it, you know. You know your big sis always got your back here. Anyway, that being said, I just want to share this story with you as far as that, as far as her saying that, you know, she's a Gemini like me. Her birthday's like a few days apart, so I think she's to the point where she's over it. I know I'm over it, and, you know, it just comes to a point, like I said before, as far as myself, it's just pointless. You know, you just might as well do you. Whether you want to dress up or not, you know, just do you. At the end of the day, you have to understand one thing. You have to be happy. That's what's important, because when the day comes and you're about to pass away, you can say, I did it my way. It didn't matter what anyone else had to say. I did it my way. There'll be a lot of people that's going to hate you because they couldn't do it, but you know what you can say, I did it. Anyway, that being said, I just want to share this story with you. And I would love to hear your feedback on this. And I will let you know that I love you. And I want to thank you for watching Test 3. Anyway, did you hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom to make sure you don't miss out on any more of these stories of going as far as being living in your truth? And I want to let you know that I love you, and I want to thank you for watching Catch the Rave.